Hi, Homeworthy. Welcome to my home in Round Top, Texas. I'm Jill, and why don't you be my guest?
You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
Hi, my name is Jill Oliver. I'm co-owner of Garden Girls with Nicole Shaw and Jen McDonald. We install and design raised garden beds. So we are in Round Top, Texas, which is the antique mecca of the world. We have twice a year antique shows where people come from all over the world to shop and listen to live music and come together with friends and family. This is an A-frame home. It's a brand new house meant to look like a refurbished old barn. And my house is inspired by the Auberge hotels. We went and visited the Stanley Ranch in California, also the Bowie Hotel in Fort Worth, as well as the Jerome, and we're just blown away with such unique style of gathering old and new, putting them together, and a little bit of traditional and contemporary pieces. So the exterior of the house is dark black, and it was influenced by a Japanese style of darkening wood called Sho Sugi, which means burned cedar wood. And the roof of my house is a steel roof, which is a nice patina with a rust color. So I have the black and the brown together. And so we knew that we wanted the inside of the house to be light and fresh and bright, but we wanted to use all natural colors. Like I love browns, greens, anything in nature. This house does not have any paint in it. It is all plaster and wood, which creates that unique look that we were going for. Also, because there's so many windows in my house, there is a real nice integration between the outside and the inside. So I can't wait to show a little bit more of that. One of the first things that you'll notice about the great room, which is the heart of our house, is the structural timber frame. These frames are 28 feet tall, and they're big X's that are holding the house together all throughout the A-frame of this house. And so you might notice that it looks kind of like a barn, and it has that feel to it. And we had the timber uplit, and so that you could really have a dramatic feel to it. And I love the way that it turned out. And we used that same material, the Douglas fir, to do our bookcases. So come with me and I'll show you those. So we have two bookcases on either side of our television. This is my side, and all of these books are about gardening. And so I can just grab a book, sit at my sectional, and read books. And the other side of the fireplace is my husband's side, and he collects old Porsches, old and new, and has these magazines that he looks at that have old Porsches in them. And so moving on here, this is our fireplace, and Rachel Maclette of Maclette Interiors helped us choose this beautiful, understated, simple fireplace. And my husband and my son built the fire back inside of here. So once we need it, right now it's not time yet for the fire, but it will be nice and warm in here. And this is a little concrete statue of my dog Domino, and I can't wait to introduce you to him. And also, since we're mentioning him, I have to mention this little figurine right here. This is Domino also, and he's a schnoodle. He has curly gray hair, and he doesn't really have a tail, he has just a nub, but this looks a lot like him. So I have my collection going there. Rachel also helped us choose some really fabulous cravat fabric. This is indoor, outdoor, and this sectional is meant to be used. Obviously, the dog, and here he is making use of it right now, but a perfect day for me would be if my kids come here and if I have someone laid out on this couch and maybe someone's over here with a book and someone is in the kitchen and maybe we've got someone eating a snack over here at the dining room table. So I love this space. One thing I'd like to tell you about are these, I call them puffs. What I like about them is they're so versatile. So right now, you can have them here sitting by the fire if you wanted to feel warm. But recently, I had a girls group here come to Round Top, and we wanted to play a game called Aunts, which is a card game, and you need lots of space. So we moved this tray and the books here, and we were able to pull these up, and we had people sitting at the sectional on the gray chairs, and these puffs right here, we were able to get a big group playing cards. So that was really fun. Also, you can move this over here, and it can be a footstool. So I love that too. You want to be able to relax and put your feet up. And that is why this ottoman was so perfect for this space. This ottoman is what draws all of these pieces of furniture together, because while we have the browns and all the textures with velvet and with other shades of brown, we have our gray and white swivel chairs right here. And I was able to find this tray at Round Top at a place called Marburger Farm. It was awesome. And I thought this was a great fit for having an indoor plant. I mentioned that I'm starting my collection of different odds and ends that I'm finding at Round Top. And so I've started a few pots and things that I have found. But I love this Japanese war horse, and he is facing that direction. I have another horse on the other side, and he is ceramic. He's a green horse, and he's facing this way. So I love styling it with some Japanese influence pieces, since we have an all black A-frame house with a shugibon. This is a neat piece. This is our bar, and I found this. This is actually an ice bucket. I found this at Round Top. I believe I was at Blue Hills, but that keeps my ice nice and cold right there. And this is where we keep our wine. And we have hidden in here all of our cocktails so we can cut a lime. But I feel like this piece of art is a nice representation of Round Top, because he has a cowboy hat on, but I feel like that there is a Mexican influence, and he's just so cool. He's got his rope and it's chalk. It is a nice fit for this area. And I didn't have to nail it to the wall or anything. I don't have a lot of bright colors in this house. We have more natural colors, but this is a piece that is special to me. I went to college with Krista Payton, and she has designed this beautiful, colorful piece. And I just thought that it did fit well with this wall and the all white frame right here. And it just makes me so happy. These two lamps are from Area, and they're wood. And we also have this wood console table that we got at Access in Round Top. And here we have a black and white bone box that I placed right here that I thought looked terrific with a little bit of black and brown mixed up. The Garden Girls, we met each other in around 2019, and we each are gardeners. And after designing and installing hundreds of beds, we decided in January of 2022 to come together and start the Garden Girls in Houston, Texas. And our love and passion is raised bed gardens, where we focus on herbs, vegetables, and cut flowers. But we found that our clients, after they installed a raised bed, they wanted a little bit more. And so we would often add on a pollinator garden so that they could say that they have a butterfly garden. And then with that, it moved to, believe it or not, complete landscape transformations with a few new shrubs and possibly new trees. And so that is how it all came together. We are women-owned and operated. We are all mothers, and this is like life 2.0 for us. We all had very different backgrounds, and we came together with our love and passion for gardening, and we want to share it with the world. One thing I like about this island is that you can notice that we have two different levels here. My quartzite island, the top part where my sink is up top, but we, for comfort, wanted to have a table height chair so that I could, be a short order cook, grab some vegetables or whatever it is that I'm cooking, probably, who knows what it is. In the morning, maybe some eggs, and that my kids could sit down and have a little bit of breakfast right here. I also love this island because of these beautiful alabaster lamps that Rachel McClett found for us. And these are, when they're all lit up at nighttime, it's just glowing, and there's so much texture in these. But they go so nicely with this quartzite stone top. And here is my backsplash, where it's two pieces of stone that came together to make this beautiful gray piece right here. And then there's a brown piece right here. And the pot filler just goes perfect right here in the middle of this. But when I look at these two pieces that come together, it almost feels like it's an eagle. And I don't know, it almost feels like it should be on the back of a Harley Davidson shirt. Live to ride, ride to live, right in the middle of my kitchen and round top. So you'll notice that all the cabinetry is 2-inch wood. And so it's very understated and simple. Everything has a place. Nothing is to be shown. And I love these little unlacquered brass knobs. And the best part, though, is this La Marzocco coffee machine. So I do love coffee in the morning, and I drink 2 cups, and I grind my own beans right here and make coffee with my Marzocco coffee machine. This thing is fabulous. And here we are in my dining room. And what I love about this room is the light, because I have windows on all 3 sides. And one window, this one in particular, is fabulous because it's a special feature. I can actually open it up. And so this is a seamless integration of the outdoor spaces and the indoor spaces. This table is made of plaster, and it's gray, and I thought this was a really nice large table that fit the space. It actually can seat 10 people, but it's only got 8 because I only had 8 chairs. So I love bringing nature in. And so while I love fresh cut flowers, if they're from my garden, or store-bought obviously is fine, but this right here is a little bit of rosemary, and it smells so good. And it is one way to enjoy herbs is with all of your senses. And so you can smell it, you can look at it, you can see it, and we can have it right here. And what's great is that it's not this huge piece that prevents you from not being able to talk with your neighbor. So I love having a little bit of rosemary. Another way you can bring in nature is by using magnolia leaves as your place setting. So this is my nephew, Harrison. This is my husband, Chris, right here. And my daughter, Ivy, just used a paint pen and she made these. But one of my favorite pieces about my dining room is my chandelier. It is so modern and just airy looking up there. And I love that it represents so much of what this house is, because we have the wood pieces kind of going in the middle, and we have our black pieces that hold the light are actually made of metal. So just like we have metal windows, anodized dark metal windows, it just is a nice piece for this room. I think it's a perfect fit. And right off our dining room is our patio, which faces the pool. So let's take a look. So because this property it's an A-frame structure, we knew that this patio could not be very wide. We knew though that it would have a lot of place for seating, maybe not a whole table and chairs, but we wanted each bedroom to have their own place to come out in the morning and have coffee. Here we have a nice view of our swimming pool and steps right out. And so we're trying to do the hot tub, cold plunge thing. So at night we can get into the hot tub and then all jump on the cold side and feel refreshed and hopefully sleep good. I wanted to bring in more texture, so I brought in this beautiful lamb's ears, and they are just loving life right now. The weather is terrific, and they are showing off. But I have to mention, we're very close to the Antique Rose Emporium. And so I was able to pick up some beautiful roses. These are called, I have two different kinds. Belinda's Bloom, which is kind of a pink, and Belinda's Blush, which is more of a peachy color. And so the roses are actually in bloom right now. Come see these. And they're squeezed in there, but they seem pretty happy right now. I have another bush right here. This one looks like it's going to be more of the peachy color. But next to that, you can see there's a plumbago and a distilium and a yucca. So I've really packed in some texture and some green goodness right here on this east-facing side of my house. Now tonight, if it's cool enough, I'm gonna light this fire. This is a smokeless fire pit, very cool. But these polywood chairs, they can take the Texas heat, and they've done terrific. We did do a gravel base right here. This is the Astris gravel, and I added a little bit of mondo grass in here just to add some different texture. So I personally was inspired to garden because of my family. My parents live in Brenham, and mom and dad are pecan-tree farmers. And even as a very young child, we would have always a garden in our backyard. And it would be an in-ground garden, not a raised bed garden. But I remember even as a young toddler, mom and dad would say, "It's time to go pick strawberries and peaches." And this was something that I had to do as a chore. And now, I mean, I can only imagine if mom and dad said, "Let's go pick peaches together," it would be the best day of my life. My dad is also a beekeeper. So I'm a fourth generation beekeeper because he's teaching me the skill of beekeeping. So that's been really terrific too. And I have bees on the property, and I can't wait to show those to you. I love reading books about gardening and cooking and using all of my herbs with cookbooks and things that call for fresh ingredients. We have all of this storage on the side here. This is all 2-inch wood on the doors and on the cabinets down here. And so it just has like a seamless interface of restrooms. You're not really sure where the room starts if all of the doors are shut. And so it's such a perfect little hallway here. this room is the green and black room. This is our guest bedroom. And this chair is so terrific. This is the Eames lounge chair. This brass light is visible comfort, and it goes perfect with this sort of 1960s mincemery mod feel of this chair. I knew that I had to have this chair in this house. And Evan Heacox designed this. This is actually an Hermes scarf, but this is the actual address of Hermes in Paris. It turned out so cool and colorful right here. I have to mention, well, if you're going to sit in this chair, you've got to read. And so Malou magazine, we were so proud. Our company was, we were in this magazine. How wonderful is that? It's called Mothers of Nature. We were featured in this magazine for Malou magazine. And in this magazine, we designed for the owner, Pam Pierce, this trellis system. And this pyramid right here is named after her granddaughter. It is called the Avery. And we named this one the Pamela, which is the inverted V. So this is a really special something to read. We have a linen green headboard with a little piece of leather right here. And I feel like this kind of has a bohemian vibe in here. But we talked about the Auberge Hotel. When we first saw the Auberge, they had these painted skulls in there. And we saw one of these in Round Top at Marburger Farm. And this is called the Ivy. And we had to get it because that is my daughter's name. These lamps have kind of a greenish gray tone to them, and these are from Area. I love this wallpaper so much. It's Lee Jaffa, and it has kind of just a modern feel to it. And I bought this piece of art that Kelly Morley did at Little Coterie in Houston. And I just think this is funky and fun. It goes really well right here. Gardening is important to me for several reasons. I have to admit, I love the beauty of gardening. And when I look out the window and I see the flowers and the butterflies, it just doesn't get old. I never get tired of seeing beautiful gardens. But also, I love the production. I love to be able to go outside and look inside my broccoli plant and see that little crown growing. And I know that this is something that is going to nourish me and nourish my family, and it's something that I can watch grow. Also, it's important to me because I know that the things that I grow are organic. And so I don't use any pesticides in my garden. If I want to treat my garden, then I use completely organic fertilizers. Everyone knows that if you grow something like that fresh tomato, or that head of lettuce that's so crisp, it is going to taste better than anything that you could buy from the store. So I definitely want to encourage everyone to have a homegrown tomato. They're terrific. Right now they're not in season, but there is a lot of other wonderful things. Like the cilantro right now, for example, is gangbusters. It's going terrific, and it will elevate your kitchen game to have that one sprig of fresh cilantro in your fish taco. It just will taste delicious. My favorite feature about this room is the floating wall. So on this side of the wall, here is my closet space, my husband's closet and mine. And I can get dressed, and I have this really large mirror right here, but I've also used this space to roll out my yoga mat and get a little vinyasa in. So this is my workout space too. It works out perfect. But if you look on the other side, here is my bed. And this headboard is vinyl, and it goes all the way across the whole floating wall. And I love this fabric because this material rather, it's so easy to clean. Whereas a fabric headboard really, you can't, besides vacuum it, you can't really ever clean it. I mean, I can just use any, organic product I want and wipe this down or just use hot water on it. This chair, this is called the Tired Man. And this fabric is boucle. This is a really, oh my gosh. Now that timing was perfect, wasn't it? Hi, Domino. Are you Tired Man? This is just such a cool chair. I'm looking for a little side table to put next to it. I haven't found it yet, but I know that I can in Round Top. One thing I love about my bedroom is that I have windows on all 3 sides. So this is the other room that you can really see the timber frame structure right here, and the trusses make such a nice little X right here. And below, we have a little his and hers rocking chair. We can go right outside to sit outside. If you come this way, you can see the shower. Here's the master bathroom. And I found this rug at in Round Top at Turkish Rugs. It is got some yellow in it, and I just love it. And I found this magnolia branch at my house, added this here. I love this waterfall stone top. And Jay, our lighting designer, helped us with this light, this mirror. We have a light that comes behind it, so that looks really great. We have another little area right here that's just more storage. Also, this is where I charge my phone at night. I love this window right here. It brings in a lot of natural light into the shower area. I want to mention this wall that we actually plastered this door was supposed to be an outside closet, but I didn't have an office. And so we turned it into an office. And while there's no AC in here, it works great because I put this fan up here and some lighting. And so now I have a little place to go inside and see the computer. My favorite thing to grow in the garden depends on the season. So if we're in the springtime, then I'm gonna say tomatoes, cucumbers, and green beans. I love those things that grow on a vine that you can plant by seed. I love those. Right now, I'm loving parsley, cilantro, and also all the brassicas like cauliflower and broccoli, and also the herbs like the thyme and oregano are terrific right now. And now what we've all been waiting for, my personal pride and joy, let's go see the garden. So we designed these looters. These are 4x2 looters to walk out and lead us right to the garden space. But I want to point out on the right and left is where we've planted loads and loads of pollinators. And right now, the monarchs are here to feed on, the host plant to the monarch is, one of these plants is the milkweed. So I hope you see tons and tons of butterflies right here. Since this house is a black house with a metal roof, I knew that I wanted to have some contrast. So all of these trees that I picked right here bloom white. These are the fringe trees. We have planted over 100 trees, and about 40 of them are oak trees. Oak trees are native, and there's over 534 species of birds and moths that feed on the oak tree. So if you can ever plant one tree, I encourage you to plant, and I learned this from Doug Tallamy, plant the oak tree. Another native that we planted is lantana. As we walk down here, you can see puffs of lantana on this wall. And I wanted to have the contrast with the black house and the white lantana to have such a nice contrast there. I see so many butterflies. We have our roses, and we have some African blue basil, and it is just full of bees right now. And The Copper Canyon daisy is our yellow flower that's in bloom. This is a Mexican tarragon, and it smells so nice. We have some lemongrass and some calendula leading up to our door, but I have to mention the mascagnia. This is also known as the butterfly vine because look, it's a butterfly. Isn't that terrific? And it blooms yellow, and it's doing wonderful right here. And I love the yellow and the black. So the black fence was very intentional to match the black house. We did a 2-foot wide pollinator garden all the way around. So you can see that our Turk's cap is in bloom. We have some salvia in bloom. And look at this dill. This is, look, we have a wasp feeding on it right now. This dill is the host plant to the swallowtail butterfly. And this has a yellow sort of an umbrella look to it. This is terrific. Let's go inside. So at nighttime, we can turn the light on. You probably can't tell right now because it's so bright, but this cross right here is our party lights. All of our gardens have a gravel base for ease for irrigation and drainage, and also because it looks so terrific. So I have 10 beds in here, and the symmetry is perfection. I designed it so that this is an 8x3, and these 2 rectangle beds are a mirror image of the 2 rectangle beds on the opposite side of the garden. And we design all of our trellises, and they're named after our children. And this one has the modern look with the crisscross, where my sugar snap peas are growing right now. Can you see this? And this trellis is called the Charlie, named after my middle son. I love this modern squared off arbor. It looks so terrific with a modern home. This is my brassica bed, and we have loads of broccoli and kale. My favorite there's 2 different kinds of kale right here. This is the curly kale, and this is the dinosaur kale. This one is good for making smoothies. This one is so good you massage it really, really good, and you make a kale salad with grilled chicken and roasted almonds and a little bit of blue cheese with a vinaigrette. This is awesome, awesome stuff. In this bed, you can see that my oregano is going to cascade over once it gets bigger. So we just started our cool season. We're about to pop into December, our winter season. And so that's why the plants are small right now, and they're going to fill up this space. These giant marigolds are from seed, and this is just such an example of the miracle of seeds. You can put seeds in and flowers grow. And do you know that for a seed to germinate, it has to be planted in soil in complete darkness, and it has to be damp and uncomfortable. And then the miracle happens, and we get flowers or vegetables. And these are cauliflower and collards. We have some more herbs cascading off this side. This little baby is a thyme. Oh, thyme is my favorite. I love that. And look at this from seed right here. Look at these sugar snap peas. I just love these. They're shooting out. You can barely see it. This is called a tendril. And this is going to attach to the Charlie arbor and grow up and up and up. This is my spinach bed. Now, I love eating salads with spinach because the antioxidants are off the charts. It's a superfood that is gangbusters good for you. And I can just pick a piece off and just eat it right now. I won't do it because I got the microphone on and y'all don't want to hear that, but this is a terrific spinach bed. This bed was intentionally left off for flowers. So I've got some foxgloves going and some delphinium, which they're going to be tall. And so this trellis, we call this the flora. This is the one trellis that's not named after one of our kids, but it's a horizontal trellis meant to keep these flowers growing their stalks straight up. And I love this trellis. This is called Tithonia, which is a Mexican sunflower. And we've had a little bit of cold nights, and so it's not doing its best, but this one looks beautiful. They get so tall, and this is from seed. So we have Tithonia here, and we're gonna have some marigolds over there. Okay, I have to mention, I don't know if you can read this, nasturtium. This is an edible flower with a round leaf that you can put in your salads, and it doesn't have any flowers right now, but it will. The flowers and the leaves are edible. Just terrific. This is my favorite, this herb bed, because it shows so many of the herbs. We have across from each other the rosemary, and then here's a bigger thyme. This is a lemon thyme. I wish y'all could smell it. And here's the oregano that we talked about. But I did do something fun on this one. I planted the foxglove right in the middle, and so that it could grow super tall, and the spinach could be all around it. All of my beds are 2 feet tall, and it was designed, these 3x3 boxes parallel this side. In the middle though, I got this teak table from Chair King, and it's actually 2 tables that I put together, and it has been a dream of mine to fill this up with friends and family and celebrate. And so we might have our Thanksgiving pie out here, or who knows what else. Enjoy a cocktail time. This side of the garden is very similar, obviously, to the other side. There's a few things I want to point out from seed over here. Because we're in the cool weather season, we talked about that parsley, which I love to use in making chili. And here's the cilantro we talked about. But I also love onions, love them. Shallots or regular onions, and I also love garlic. But when I was a young toddler kid playing at my grandparents' house, they had an in-ground garden. I still to this day, every time I smell onions, I think about my grandfather's garden. So I love that memory. We've got some cabbage going on here, and we have some radishes. Okay, here they are. These are radishes that are coming up, and these are from seed. And what is really special about these, now this is, the first leaves are round, and so we haven't seen their true leaves yet. They're gonna come second. But of all the food that I can grow, radish is one of the quicker foods. So I can harvest this in just 30 days and have radishes for my salads. So I love that, and I love that I can grow lettuce and arugula quite quickly also. So whereas carrots might take 100 days, onions take 100 days, garlic takes like 200 days. But there is some slower food. Try growing radish and you can harvest it quickly. My best gardening tip would be to plant by season. But there are a few important key concepts before you get to planting. You need to have a sunny spot. So if you want to grow tomatoes, you need 6 to 8 hours of full sun. The second most important thing would be using really high quality organic soil. So you want to choose soil that's maybe locally curated, that is sandy loam, that works in your zone. I live in Houston, so that's zone 9, and this is zone 8 in Round Top. Another thing that you need is quality materials. So if you're going to build a raised garden, using good cedar wood or steel would be what I would choose to have success in the garden. Also, you need to use irrigation. The watering is a really, really important part of having a garden. I like drip irrigation because the water just drips right onto the roots of the plant, and it just allows that plant to grow and not have all of that water on its leaves. The other important factor about having success in the garden would be to trellis. And so you have to have some vertical elements for those, like right now I'm doing sugar snap peas, and that is from seed, and it needs a place to grow up. And so you have to have a place for those sugar snap peas to thrive. Before I show you my lettuce bed, I want to point out my greenhouse and my she shed. So I designed this space. So I wanted something that I could use to hold my plants and to where I could do the start seeds. And so that's the first part of it. So come check it out. So I designed this space. This is a 10 by 10 space. And look at all of these plants around here. This just is so happy for me. My husband built these shelves and he welded them and put these in for me. But here you can see there's some lettuce starts, and all of these herbs right here are ready to go, be put into the garden. And then it's nice to have some houseplants in here too. And when it does get cold at night, they'll be just fine in here. I do like these lights. They have a brass look on the bottom, and I just thought that they were a nice complement to this space. I can't believe I'm showing you this, but here's the she shed. I actually am so excited about this. If you can come inside, okay. This space is 10 by 12, and my favorite part about this space is the pegboard wall. So I can put all of my shovels. These are my favorite pruners. This is by a brand called Corona. And then if I need to sweep something off, I love having all of these are my plant tags so I can see what I'm growing. And have a place for all my tools. This is where I keep my gloves. And then this is a great way, so I do love to hoard seeds. I collect gardening books, seeds, and shoes. How about that? And maybe lipstick also. But I got this off of Amazon, and I love it. It is for pictures, but on the inside of it, I can put all of this is arugula seed. And so I can just get my arugula seed. And what I was going to do is get my dibber. We're selling these now. This says Garden Girls on it. And I was going to do a little demonstration and show you how we plant some arugula or some lettuce seed. So let's go take a look at that. Okay, I intentionally left this space blank so that I could show you guys how fun and easy it is to grow lettuce. So you can see this drip irrigation. So we talked about having the seed be damp. And so what I'm going to do is just mark my space and look at how perfectly it lines up. So I'm going to so this is called Salad Bowl Mix. This is a company called M.I. Gardener. I do love all kinds of seeds. I tend to get most of my seeds from Baker Creek, and I also love Southern Exposure. I buy seeds from everywhere. This is the salad bowl mix. So I'm just going to show y'all how easy this is. So you can see these holes right here where I've used my dibber. I'm going to put one seed in each hole. And then if I accidentally drop a couple of seeds, when it starts to grow, it's called thinning. I have to pull out the loser, let the winner be the winner, and I pick the loser, and guess what? I eat it. So it's not really a loser because I do get to eat. That's called microgreens, by the way. So here I am. And then once I'm done putting the seed in, I'm going to cover it up and just tap, tap, tap. And that is it. That is the miracle of growing from seed. And I hope that you're inspired to have a salad garden of your own. What home means to me is a place to gather. It's a place for friends and family to come and celebrate all of the good things happening in life. And it is also a place to come together and support each other, because life has its ups and downs, and so we need to be there for each other. So no matter if it is in the garden or around the dining room table or just relaxing on the sectional and catching a football game together or shopping around top, it is a place of gathering.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content, shopping guides, and so much more.